Today we are talking about this plant right here. It's a yam, a true yam. The genus is Dioscorea, not what people call in the South yams, which is sweet potatoes. This is different. These are true yams, and most of them are grown in the tropics, but there are a few that are hardy. We have our native wild yam, quite a different plant, not anything you'd ever think about eating. That's a medicinal herb, antispasmodic, various other uses. Some of the yams were involved in the development of the birth control pills, so people have the idea that wild yams have hormone precursors. That's probably not really totally accurate, at least not with our native wild yam. Birth control pill was some yams from Mexico. In any case, today we're talking about this edible yam. There's a whole group of yams that have fleshy, edible roots. And most of them are not hardy. They're grown as staples in the tropics. But this one is hardy. Dioscorea opposita or Dioscorea batatas. Those are synonyms for the same plant. It's a high climbing vine, as you can see. And it flowers. Here are some flowers. Extremely fragrant when it flowers, so it's got the name cinnamon vine. Another common name for it is air potato vine, because it makes these little aerial bulblets. Every one of those falls down and they all grow. So if you find this growing along a roadside somewhere or something like that, sometimes you'll find a huge, widespread thicket, tangle of this stuff, because all these things fall down. So in a garden situation, it can become very weedy, particularly in a permaculture situation. You might want to just plant it right in the middle of your vegetable garden, and then you'll weed out these things. What I've done here is trained it over my driveway, so they're all going to fall on the driveway. You can harvest these little tubers and eat them, but the part that's primarily eaten is the root. It's important in Chinese medicine. It's called shan, which means mountain medicine. And this is what it looks like in our herb shop. Beautiful white slices of the root. So this root goes straight down as much as 3 feet. It looks about like a baseball bat. And it's extremely fragile. You cannot pull it up. So to get it out of the ground, you have to excavate it. So if it's 3 feet deep, you're going to end up digging a hole like roughly this. And it's really fragile. If you look at it, it'll break, practically. So, this is also very popular as a fresh vegetable with Oriental people. They like to just grate it and eat it raw, fresh. It has an interesting combination of qualities to be both crispy, crunchy, and at the same time mucilaginous. But dried, it's the Chinese herb. So you can put this into any kind of soup or stew you're making. It benefits the spleen and stomach, tonifies the yin of the lungs, moistens the lungs, also tonifies the kidneys, and as they say, stabilizes the essence. So it's got a lot of uses. It's very safe. Typical dosage 6 to 30 grams, but you could go up to 240 grams if you needed to. So it's a really safe herb. So if you can close in on here, I read that in Japan the way they harvest these is they plant them in plastic pipes, and then they can dig up the pipes with a shovel or a backhoe or whatever. So we've got these yams growing in these plastic pipes, and after a couple of years I'm going to pull these screws out, take these boards down, pull the pipes out, and be able to harvest nice big long yams. We're also experimenting with growing them in some old oil drums we've cleaned out. And the idea there is we'll just tip over the drum after 3 or 4 years. Pull the plants out, put the drum back up, fill it up again. So that is Dioscorea batatas, the Chinese yam. It's widespread in this area, western North Carolina. I don't really offhand know how far its distribution goes. And it can climb very high. It can climb up into trees. But it is an herbaceous vine, so it's going to disappear in the wintertime. come back again next spring. If you want to grow it, what you want to do is obtain these little aerial bulblets from me or anybody else. It never seems to make seeds. I think what the situation is that all of these plants in America are male. Or maybe they're all female. In any case, they're all the same sex, and that's why we never get seeds. The seeds of yams would be like little flakes, little three-winged pod with tiny flakes in it, similar to our wild yam. These never make seeds, but they do make these bulblets, so it's a vegetative propagation.